that this meeting is being recorded for minute-taking purposes, as well as posting the recording on the agency's website after our meeting. The meeting is also being live streamed on Access Health CT website. Just to help people follow along and for the minute-taking purposes, if you could please introduce yourself each time you speak, that would be really helpful. And with that, I will ask for a roll call to be taken on attendance for today's meeting.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Claudio Gualtieri, Chair.
Here.
Grant Ritter.
Here.
Thomas McNeil.
Here.
Matthew Brackman. And Caroline Zambetti on behalf of DMS Commissioner Nancy Navarrete.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Great. This is Claudio again. And at this point, I would ask that the senior leadership of Access Health Connecticut introduce themselves, starting with James.
Good morning, all. James Michelle, Access Health Connecticut.
Good morning, everyone. Holly Swick, Director of Finance, Access Health Connecticut.
Good morning, everyone. Susan Rich-By, Director of Legal and Governmental Affairs, Access Health Connecticut.
Good morning. This is
Mr.
Glenn
Chair,
Jurgen, Director of Human Resources, Access Health CT.
Thank you.
All right, this is Claudio again, and thank you for everyone for introducing themselves and bringing us to the next item of business, which is public comment. I don't believe, I'll pause, but I don't believe we received any written public comment or requests for public comment, but I'll pause to confirm that that's the case before we move on.
That's the case, Mr. Chair. We did not receive any written public comments.
Excellent. Thank you for that. That brings us to the next item of agenda, which is review and approval of the meeting minutes. Draft meeting minutes for November 14th were circulated to the audit committee in advance of today's meetings. I hope everyone had a chance to review and confirm the accuracy. I'll request a motion to approve such minutes at this time.
Yes, motion to approve. This is Grant Ritter.
Thank you, Grant. This is Claudio, second. Any discussion on the minutes? Any requests for revision or edits? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call on approval of the November 14th meeting minutes.
The motion was made by Dr. Ritter and seconded by Mr. McNeil. Is that correct, Mr. Chair?
Yes, let's go with that. That's good.
Okay. Claudio Gualtieri?
Yes.
Grant Ritter?
Yes.
Thomas McNeil?
Yes.
Caroline Zambetti?
Yes.
And Matthew Brackman. Thank you.
All right. So now that brings us to item number D on our agenda, which is FY25 financial and programmatic audits. For this agenda item, I'd like to first turn to Susan Rich-By, and she'll introduce the financial and programmatic audit requirements. Susan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Susan Rich-By, Access Health Connecticut. We're here today to have our independent auditors, Whittlesley, present for the FY25 financial and programmatic audits. These are requirements both on the federal and state level to do these audits every year with an independent auditor. The financial audit is a requirement for state and federal, and the programmatic audit is a federal requirement from CMS. So as FY25 is about to close very soon, we have started working with Whittlesley, and they will present to you today the new audit that is starting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. So my name is Tom Goldfuss. I'm a partner at Whittlesey. Thanks for the introduction, and here to discuss our audit plan as well as answer any questions or concerns that anybody has. The slide in front of you is our engagement team. You have myself, Lisa Wills is the concurring partner or the second partner on the engagement. Ed Sullivan is another partner at our firm that provides some consulting resources as needed, both internally to us as well as to Access Health CT if needed. Ed was the prior partner when you actually first kicked off your organization and served in that role for 6 years. The next slide is some of our additional management team. Jean Callan also goes back to the inception of your organization and has returned this round of audits. She is the senior manager, and you'll hear from her shortly as she'll discuss some of the detailed audit plan. And then Chris Wisniewski is our IT manager. At Whittlesey, we use IT specialists to do certain review of controls over the financial reporting system and other IT systems, high-level cyber concerns, and looking at some of the other factors which could have an impact, financial impact on the organization. I believe several people have met with him previously. I think he's worked on some special engagements for your organization in the past, and it comes with a vast knowledge of information, both for us and for you. The next page is a summary of our objectives and what we provide for the organization. We are doing, as mentioned, required auditing both for state and federal, and that's done in accordance with government auditing standards, which is to make sure that we provide reasonable assurance that the financial statements are materially accurate, that there's no material misstatements or errors in the accounting records, and the financial statements are complete and accurate. We're here to proactively identify issues as well. Part of this call would be any discussion of any items to pay attention to or any concerns from this committee. We do look at internal controls, both for our audit and the government auditing standards part of the audit, which will communicate to you if we become aware of any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses. In the past, this has not been an issue, but it is something that we look at from year to year. We are available for in-person meetings. We share a building with you, so in-person meetings would be no problem, but more and more remote meetings happen, so either in-person or remote is fine with us. Any developments in the industry or specifically with agencies like yours or quasi-public entities, specifically in Connecticut, any issues or trends we're aware of, and we'll communicate with you and help you through those. There is a new GASB standard. It should not be significant, but we'll, of course, work with the financial team to make sure it's properly implemented and disclosed. The next slide goes over our expectation of management. And there we expect them to comply with all laws and regulations and to make sure that all financial records and any requests that we have are made available to us. At the end of the audit, we'll ask that they sign a management representation letter, which will state that. If there were any audit adjustments or errors in the accounting records, or if we identify anything that needs to be adopted, they're responsible for making those adjustments. Both management and governance is tasked with promoting honest and ethical behaviors throughout the organization and setting a tone at the top. And then finally, communicating to us any significant matters that may have an impact on the financial statements. The next slide is for this committee and the expectations. Again, setting a tone at the top of the organization, both in quality and to follow ethical standards, communicate with us any actual or suspected wrongdoing. Those first two slides with our contact information is your avenue to contact us if needed. Emails and phone numbers are on there. You can contact anybody on our team confidentially and have a conversation. We do reach out to certain committee members as well as management and employees to have inquiries, but we're not able to reach out to everybody. So your avenue is to reach out to us if anything comes up. And then finally, and I think we'll meet later in the fall, provide us any feedback on how the audit went and any additional areas that you may want us to look at. Next, I'll hand it over to Jean, and she'll get into some more details about the audit and the timing.
Thanks. It's Jean Callan. I'm assurance manager at Whittlesey. And this just shows the audit timing, which is very similar to last year. We've already met with the finance team and we've already started doing interim audit work, and we'll do field work on the final numbers, July, August, and September, review the financial statements, hopefully in August September, October, in order to get the final audit reports, hopefully by November 1st, which is the timeline that was requested. The next slide just talks about the audit scope. We take a top-down and risk-based approach. We perform risk assessments to determine the extent of testing across all financial statement line items. We consider materiality of a particular financial statement line item or transaction when determining our extent of testing. We perform analytical review procedures and substantive testing like confirmations, general ledger account reconciliations, looking into detail invoices. And our approach is designed to meet our internal quality standards, regulatory expectations, and pass our periodic external quality control reviews. The next slide talks about fraud risk considerations. And throughout the audit, we remain cognizant of fraud risk. Our approach includes gaining an understanding of controls designed to prevent, deter, and detect fraud. We will also assess the impact of the tone at the top on fraud risks. We will inquire of management and the committee their views about risks of fraud, knowledge of any actual suspected or alleged fraud. We'll talk about the oversight role for identifying and responding to fraud risks, communications from regulators and third parties regarding fraud and or violations of laws and regulations, whether there are any whistleblower matters, and Finance and Audit Committee's continuing responsibility to inform us of any fraud-related matters. And as you saw, there was a slide at the beginning with all our contact information. So it's not like you need to speak out now. You could contact us at any time, whether it's during the audit or anytime during the year. I think that's it for our slides.
This is Claudio again. Thank you for that presentation. I'll pause and see if any of the audit committee members have questions. Seeing none, appreciate all this helpful information, and we'll move on to our next agenda item. That brings us to the state audit status. For this, I'll turn again to Susan Rich-Pye, who will present the information on our SMART tool. That's the state-based marketplace annual reporting tool, also known as SMART. Take it away, Susan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we've been talking about this for many of you have been on this committee for a while. The SMART is a tool that CMS created to take all of the various responsibilities that state-based marketplaces had and put them into one easy tool so that we could go through it each year and make sure that we were current on all of our program integrity and reporting requirements. So it has 4 parts to it: eligibility and enrollment, financial and programmatic audits, which we're talking about today, program integrity, and then finally it finishes with an attestation of completion. So the SMART is due on June 1st of each year. Access Health CT filed its SMART for 2024. The SMARTs go on a calendar year basis, by the way, not fiscal year. So we filed our SMART for 2024 just recently on May 30th, and we anticipate hearing back from CMS in a couple of months on the report. We did not find any issues when completing our responses and do not anticipate any recommendations or findings. I will pause for any questions.
That's very helpful. Always good not to have any negative findings, Susan, and I don't see any members seeking to ask a question. So thank you. The next item is also yours, Susan. It's the state audit status, which I was jumping ahead to previously, but if you could give us the presentation.
That's what I thought. Thank you, Claudio. So our final item for today is our state audit status. Right now, the state audit for FY22 and 23 is still in progress. There was a lot of activity at the beginning of this fiscal year. We produced a lot of information to send to the auditors. And then in the last several months, I don't know if they had new people come on the team, they came back and asked for some of it was repeat information we'd already provided, and then some new information over the last few months. As of now, we've provided them with everything they've requested. So we, await hearing back from them on everything we provided, and we'll keep the committee updated as soon as we hear back from the auditors. Thank you.
Great, thank you. That sounds terrific. We moved at an expeditious pace today, and I think that brings us to our last item, which is just simply a motion for adjournment. Can I have such motion? The time
Yes.
is now 10:15 a.m.
Okay, motion to adjourn. This is Grant.
Grant made the
Tom
motion,
McNeil,
Harley.
seconded.
and Tom made the second. All those in favor, Marston, do we want to do a roll call here?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair.
Okay, sounds good. Let's make it official.
Claudia Gualtieri. Claudia Gualtieri.
Yes. Yes.
Brown Ritter.
Yes.
Thomas McNeil.
Yes.
Caroline Zambetti.
Yes.
And Matthew Brackman.
Yes.
Thank
All
you.
right, we are officially adjourned. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye all.